Hello, this is Clint May. I want to take an opportunity to share with you about the Oklahoma 2012 LIT mission trip.
Dear friend, you've been trying again, doing whatever it takes to fit in, falling for the lies of the world. You tell me you pay anything just to not hurt what you want. I ain't got what I have, can't be bought. There's something better I can give. If you surrender, you will live. Just gotta taste it, see it's good. Now make you see it if I could. It's gonna save your life. It's gonna save your life.
On this map, you're going to see the destination for Tulsa, and the date is July 21st to 28th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The churches that are highlighted in blue are now talking about coming to Tulsa. The churches that are highlighted in red are talking about Fort Worth, Texas, June 23rd to 30th. What the mission trip is looking like is this. First, we start out in a partnership and training. We'll do an online training January 28th at 9 a.m., and this is going to be an online training through GoToMeeting.com. What you can do with this is you can invite your church leadership and those parents who are going on the LIT mission trip with you to your church, or you can give them the system link for GoToMeeting.com, which will be sent out to you shortly, and they can watch the training from their home. But this training is mandatory for everyone who's going on the mission trip. The new thing that we're introducing this year is the book, The Gift. This is the Bible study the LITs will be using. This has been written specifically for preteens to be able to teach and share the good news of Jesus Christ to boys and girls, youth, and adults. On Saturday, July 21st, you'll arrive in Tulsa between 5 and 6 p.m. to the designated church where you're assigned. Saturday, June 23rd, there'll be dinner at the LIT churches at 6:30 p.m., followed by worship at 8 o'clock. And then we'll get up for breakfast the next morning and go to worship service there at the host church or the church you'll be staying at. And then following breakfast, we'll go to lunch and then come back to the church at 1:30 from 1:30 to 6 p.m. The training will be at the host church there, which will be announced shortly. And the churches who will be staying at other churches will drive to the host church, or they'll go through the training from 1 to 6:30 p.m. At 1:30 will be worship and spiritual preparation time. This is a group from last year's trip. We took 278 students, leaders, and LITs to Little Rock, Arkansas for a wonderful trip there in Arkansas. We saw over 183 children, youth, and adults make professions of faith to Christ. Part of the partnership of this LIT mission trip is our footwork and trips to Little Rock to talk with leaders in churches about the mission trip. The churches in Tulsa that you'll be staying with have signed an agreement that they will follow up with the students and the children and the adults once we leave. And so we're going to be giving out Bibles, new Christian materials. We'll talk about a little bit more about this. In Little Rock, the church there, after we left, began Bible studies. They had activities for the children. They were going in and doing new Bible studies and different things like that to do follow-up with the kids in those apartments and the Boys and Girls Club there. At 2:30 p.m. is the LIT leadership training, which will be for the adults to talk about their challenge and what they'll be doing on the trip to help those students understand how important it is just to release themselves and let God move and speak through them. At 2:30 also, there at the same time will be an LIT evangelism review, where we'll walk the LITs of your church back through and do a second kind of a review preparation for their ministry that week. At 4 o'clock is team planning time. We'll talk a little bit more extensively of that in the training. But basically, church groups will be combining about 5 students from LITs from one church and 5 from another. Will come together with their leaders and become a ministry team. And it's just a wonderful experience that we've seen over the last 5 years. At 5 o'clock is prayer walk canvassing. They will be taking flyers. It looks like this. It'll be a full glossy postcard, and last year we printed about 15,000 that were distributed in Little Rock. The back of the postcard will have sponsoring information about the churches and what's to be expected there. At 6 o'clock that night will be a commissioning service where the LITs will be prayed over by the church leadership and the families there and the churches that they'll be staying at. And then they'll return back to the churches, and then the next day is breakfast at 8 o'clock. LITs will be expected to help serve, to wash dishes, and to clean up after meals. And so there'll be different teams assigned positions there. At 9 o'clock is morning worship. This is a time where the LITs will get together, and it's just a brief time of worship to charge them up for the day. At 9:30 is team prep time, which is kind of final preparation for the teams to go out into the apartment complexes for ministry or wherever they'll be ministering there at Tulsa. At around 10:30, they're heading out to the complexes, and it's what we call Kid Power Camp, which is our form of Backyard Bible Club. It's our vacation Bible school, but it's a simple formatted Bible study for these clubs. At between 11 and 1 o'clock those days, we'll have the LITs will be leading Bible study. They'll be teaching, leading worship, teaching crafts, and then they'll be in apartments, mobile home parks, and sometimes Boys and Girls Club. We're working right now on what doors will be open in Tulsa, so please be praying for that. At 1:30 p.m. is a debrief, either in the apartments or back at the church, where they'll talk about what God did and how they can have a better day the next day. At 3 to 5:30 in the afternoon is our activity time. One of our activities will be going to the water park in Tulsa, which will be a great time to refresh and cool down because it's going to really be hot there. At 6:30 again will be dinner, either at the church or out on at the activity site where we stay. And then evening worship at 8 o'clock again. This is something that we do every night, and it's so important to the trip. The children, the LITs will be able to testify as well as adults, and you'll be tremendously blessed. Some of the prayer services after these worship services, we've seen kids just pray and cry out their hearts to the Lord, and it's just a wonderful experience for them. This gives you an idea of the outreach strategy. From Monday through Thursday is Kid Power Camp in the apartments. Thursday is Kids Blitz. And what Kids Blitz is what your LITs have learned throughout the year in ministry training, from puppets, drama, tech, DAO, dance, and all these different things, praise team. On this Kids Blitz will be a planned event where they lead worship. They'll be singing songs, leading worship, doing puppets, drama, everything that they do regularly at your church. At this event, it'll either be in the church or in the school. We're working out the details on that as well right now. The wonderful thing about this event is we offer free pizza, like it says on the party, on the card, and then we have the program, and it goes from 6 to 8 o'clock at the sites there. The sponsoring shows on the back of the card, the sponsoring churches that will be there in Tulsa working with us. And then on Friday we do a follow-up. This is very important to help you understand that we do not lead kids to Christ and leave them. So Friday we'll be talking with the kids about what it means to be a believer in Christ and how to live for Him, and we'll give them follow-up materials. This is kind of our step of the follow-up. The Kids Blitz, the purpose of the Blitz is we not only allow our LITs to lead and do presentations of drama and those things, but they'll be sharing the gospel at the Kids Blitz. We're going to invite the church staff to be there that night to talk about, to share about their church and invite those kids to be a part of their church. We're going to give them follow-up materials at the sites. And then we'll talk about, with the kids at the sites, about that decision, what they made. Give them a journey book. This is a new Christian book. Every child that attends, including youth and their parents, will receive a Bible. The church will be given all the contact information about the children and their families and their personal decisions in order they can follow up on that the week. The cost of the trip is $180 per person, and we're going to talk about what that includes. But we have some discount offers coming out right now. For if you pay a deposit by January 13th, it's $25 per person, and it'll be $170 per person at that cost. But if you pay before February 21st, 2012, it's $180 per person. If you paid before March 1st, 2012, it's $190 per person. We're talking about the deposit only, and then the second half of the payment will be in May. We'll give you some information about that. What we're trying to do is help you by reducing costs, but also having these deposits help us work with administration fees and doing pre-trip preparation for the trip. If you have any questions, you can contact us at 817-330-9216 or email me at clint@preteenmin.com. That's clint@preteenmin.com. Thank you.